It seems like prices won't be going down anytime soon. With the war raging in Europe and fertilizer shortages, this looks like food prices won't slow down anytime soon. Daily Wire reports that although inflation was slightly decreased, Americans still feel the pinch in the grocery store, and the prices are likely to remain high in 2023. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, food prices are expected to rise, but at a slower rate than in 2022. In the future, prices will remain higher than historical averages. Watch.
Inflation may be easing, but food prices are expected to go up. The Department of Agriculture predicts prices will increase over 3.5% this year. The cost of vegetables is up 38% from last month alone. This, as a shortage of eggs is driving up prices as well.
If there weren't any eggs, I went to Vaughn.
Many Americans are left outraged by the historic price of inflation at the grocery store. It seems like prices won't be going down anytime soon.
Bill Gates owns more land than all of the entire city of New York. Jeff Bezos' land is double the amount, clocking in at 420,000 acres. John Malone, the largest private landowner in America, owns 2.2 million acres all by himself, a landmass slightly smaller than the island of Puerto Rico. America is enormous, yet 100 of the richest and largest private landowners in America own 1.86% of all the land available in the United States, the majority of their land being forests, ranches, and farmland.
Some people like myself find farms beautiful and peaceful and a nice place to live.
Land is only getting more valuable. In the mid-1990s, farmland was valued at less than $1,500 an acre, adjusted for inflation. By 2020, that number had grown to $3,160 an acre.
It's expensive. So if somebody is desiring land, it is primarily people of wealth who can afford it.
Institutional capital is growing and it's becoming a bigger piece of the market. It's about a $3 trillion asset class when you look at the whole U.S.
However, not everyone is benefiting from the rise in farmland prices.
It's going to continue to be harder for farmers, for beginning farmers like myself. If prices continue to go up, everything's going up.
Land is critical, and it's the center of how we survive and persist as communities and as people. And farmland in the U.S. is something that we don't think about that often.
So, why are the ultra-wealthy investing in farmland? And what impact will it have on the agricultural industry? In 2020, Bill Gates made headlines for becoming the largest private farmland owner in the U.S. He had accumulated more than 269,000 acres of farmland across 18 states in less than a decade, shielding his purchase by buying up land through shell companies. Why? It's a good economic investment.
That land has always been something that the ultra-wealthy people of real means have desired. It has great intrinsic value. Beyond that, it is a limited resource. They're not creating any more of it, and in fact, quite the opposite.
And as if things were not already bad enough in terms of inflation and the dollar just completely getting pounded out in terms of its buying power, well, it looks like it's about to get worse. And this is a big time red alert. This goes for everyone around the planet that's using US dollars. Because for all of our lives up to this point, the world reserve currency has been the United States dollar, and it's been so primarily because of a couple things. But number one, its petro status, that it's tied in to being backed by Saudi Arabia's oil. The other argument is that the dollar is backed by the full force of the U.S. military, which is backed by the U.S. Treasury, which is backed by the Federal Reserve. In other words, the dollar is backed by the dollar. It's a very naive position to have, especially when it's not backed by gold. And some would think, well, isn't the U.S. dollar their golden goose? They're able to just keep making all this wealth and Just keep doing it and never have to answer to nobody. Well, no, it's not. If you're short-sighted and you don't know the end game, maybe that's where you get caught up. But when you know where they're taking this and you know the end game, you know that this is a stepping stone toward the CBDC in a one-world currency or network that tracks all currencies. Okay, and that is a beast blockchain system. The same